I married a borderline bipolar, emotionally immature person. Where to begin? We had troubles before marriage, always fighting after an initial honeymoon phase of us, coming back into each other's lives after several years. I'm a non-confrontational person, but she enjoys fighting, yelling, screaming, slamming doors, stomping around like a toddler and saying anything and everything to get me to respond, and once I do to meet her with the same aggression and disrespect, it's, how could you? It's tears, it's hiding your hands when you've clearly thrown several punches. It used to be every argument was her threatening to divorce me, for about 9 or 10 years. The fights got so prevalent I had to keep track of them, and we were literally fighting multiple times a week, usually until a weekend, always after reconnecting and being intimate like the next day we'd fight. I gave this woman everything. The wedding she dreamed of, the house she wanted, the renovations to the house she wanted, the cars she wanted, the kids she wanted, the vacation she wanted. I moved her ex and his girlfriend in because she wanted to help him, and then as they were moving and wanted to have this whole blended family. I've never seen anybody, Dio. They lived with us for half a year. She tried to ask again when they broke up. I said FCK no. Then her brother and his family stayed with us for a year when they were moving and tore up my damn house. Anyways, needless to say, I was a patient husband. I fed up along the way, though. I said hurtful things when we were in heated arguments after she would say some hurtful things. I don't know how to hold my punches when I'm being attacked. I also was unfaithful. No excuses, but I needed that positive feminine energy I wasn't getting at home. I had a weak moment, not belittling it, but I'm human. I regretted it, and it nearly wiped us out. A few years later, the constant fighting became more frequent as she started having issues outside of our marriage with family, and this time, instead of cheating or having an emotional affair, I talked to a random older woman who had been through divorce about my situation. It was inappropriate because my wife didn't know about this lady, but I had no desire to sleep with this woman or even continue any type of communication with her. I just needed again someone to talk to. That was triggering because she felt like I cheated again. And from there we spiraled to a huge fight a few months later. It got to the point now that when she wants to fight, I ask if we can get a third party involved, so we don't have to fight, and she gets even more upset that I would suggest that. Since the infidelity several years ago that she said she forgave me for, I suggested counseling, and it was always an excuse. She rebuked our pastor and his wife, and anyone that doesn't fully agree with her, taking accountability for the way she fights, and lets her emotions control everything, lacking regulation, the manipulation, etc. She a real psychotherapist that will prescribe her medication for her mood swings, depression, anxiety. She's in all types of groups, though, and sees therapists that say we should be divorced. I've tried to support her in this season. She calls it, and doing the things she says she needs when she is overly emotional, but in the moment she doesn't even recognize I'm doing the things she's asked for. For example, she showed me a video about a couple who the wife had this trauma that causes her to lash out emotionally, and the husband will sit on the floor, physically lowering himself in a humbling display, and listen to her feelings. I literally did this several times in arguments with her, and she asked me flat out, "What the FCK are you doing?" It doesn't matter what I do. It's not enough. It's not consistent, though I'm doing it in almost every fight trying to resolve it. I have bipolar family, so I know the signs of it when I see it, and this really has me in a place of I don't know what to do. She distorts her own reality with her feelings regardless of what actually happened in a way that vilifies her and makes her the victim and me the villain, even though 95% of the time I'm not bringing any issues to her. Now I don't know what will happen to my life, my family, or my marriage. We've been sleeping in separate rooms for months. I really can't believe it's ending like this, and I'm left still trying to fight for our marriage, and I'm the only one left in the MFN ring. I found the woman I wanted to grow old with when I was young. She was sweet, selfless, and loving. I watched her turn into a complete stranger every day. I sacrificed everything for bullshit. Why?